Hey.
So I was taking a quick bite.
No way. How's it going, everyone?
Hello,
Happy
hello,
Thursday.
hello. Yes, happy Thursday, which means it's almost Friday. So those who get excited about Friday, you're hours away.
I know.
Mhm.
We almost
How are you
made
doing,
it.
Coach K?
I am good. Feels like Christmas Eve or whatever because my nephew, my twin sister, is getting induced tonight. So as all goes well, my nephew will be welcomed in the world tomorrow. So I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm
Woo.
feeling. I'm really excited. And a little easy lady about in the chat. She said Pringles, right? Were they Pringles?
Yeah, Pringles, Doc. That's funny. That's like twice tonight I heard about Pringles. Yeah.
Oh man,
that is funny. Someone has me figured out. Pringles is my jam, my weak spot. Congratulations, Coach K. Congratulations.
I know. I'm so excited for her, but for the fam, because we only have there's only one grandchild or one niece or nephew, so really excited. But yes. But how are you though? How are you doing?
I'm well. Actually, I'm well, but I have some interesting things going on in life.
Okay.
And I want let me let me do this quickly, please. Let me just say all these few things, and then because I want to get rolling. All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, there's a lot on my mind at the moment, so I'm glad you asked. Thank you.
Yeah.
So a couple things. One, for tonight's show, I actually want to jump in faster with the information because I know people cut out around an hour from now and give support to other channels. I know there's the replay, but the replay, you have to put in the questions and then we can get back to them later. I want to dump as much of this information now. When I say dump information, today is primarily about information. I'm more than welcome pushback, challenges, all that. I'm all for it. But today's show, I don't want to mix the two because usually what happens is fireworks and different things and then get distracted and then we go off point. So today is education, information, overload, whatever you want to call it. Next time or on the wall or the replay thing, ask away, challenge away. I'll put on the wall some of the stats or the sites where I get my information from. What we're going to talk about today is all research-based, is all evidence-based. It comes from psychology, neurology, coaching as an industry. So you're going to get a heavy dose of the education. If it applies, great. If it doesn't apply, double great. We're not here to debate if you have these symptoms. We want to inform of the symptoms, not diagnosing, just describing some of these. Describing, not diagnosing. If you want to debate how you got it, that's a different conversation. If you want to debate that, tonight's not about debates. I just want to put that out there. Not because I don't want the challenge, it's because I'm teaching and supporting, being supported with Coach K to give some solutions at the end of this teaching about anger, where it comes from, why it is dangerous. It is dangerous. Now, if you walk away from the stream today and you don't feel it's dangerous, cool. We're not here to debate danger. We're not here to debate danger. But it is an unhealthy thing. And the one thing I want to say up front for some people who feel proud of their anger abilities, and we think about the Incredible Hulk, people who are proud to be the Hulk. You are strong.
Hulk smash.
Yes, Hulk smash. And there's Mrs. Hulk. And there's probably they Hulk and all the other Hulks and whatever version, universe Hulks, worlds. all of them, male, female, non-gender, all the Hulks, you probably are proud of your anger abilities and smashing abilities. Wonderful. Keep your pride. I'm only talking about the fact that anger is an issue. It is a normal, pending what you determine as normal, but it is a human emotion. So it is real and it is normal. People can have healthy anger. It's really not about healthy or unhealthy, and we'll get more into it. It's really what you do with it. Is what you do with it. Who's worse, Coach K, or not worse? In your opinion, is it the dog or the dog owner when it comes to a dog attack or dog problems or dog? What do you think? The dog owner or the dog? Pit bull.
Just who's worse?
Get at everybody. Or I should say, who's worse? The cause of the problem. If the pit bull's out attacking people, would you put that on the dog, owner? Or would you put that on the owner?
Okay. The owner. Yeah.
Guns, and I'm not here for gun control. No gun control. Second Amendment. That's not the question or debate. But I challenge. I ask Coach K. Do guns kill people? And this is not for a political question. This is just
this is just facts.
Do guns kill people or do people kill people?
Yeah, people with guns. Okay. Yeah, people holding the gun. Yeah, is the one that kills the person. Yeah.
The reason I ask those two specific questions is not anger. It is not the dog. It is not the weapon.
Right.
It is the person's managing of the anger.
Ooh.
And people can slice it and dice it however they want. It's needed. I have to. But what I'm hoping people don't do is be disingenuous to those who don't follow or subscribe to the same use of anger and then put them down for not being mentally ill. So
wait, say that again.
Yep. So I have this is an example. What's the word? What's the word for an example?
Story?
This is a hypothetical. Yes, this is hypothetical.
Okay.
I have a pit bull, and I train it. It's all muscled up. Not a bully dog, because a bully pit, man, them things sweet little. They look tough, but they're sweet. I got a pit bull, and I trained it for danger. I got a Chihuahua, and I trained it for danger. Bite a plug. Okay. I have a goat. I'll train it to seize a Doberman to bite a plug out of the Doberman. I'm training it. Then when the dog gets loose or the person comes into my yard, either one, the dog gets loose. Now coming into your yard, that's a different story. The dog is probably going to perceive danger. And I've trained it to respond to danger.
Right.
So we'll give, here's the thing. When it goes outside the yard and bites a kid because it went off leash.
Right.
And then I say that the kid is the stupid one for playing outside. When I say the kid is a dumbass for playing outside. When I say the parent is the fault for even giving birth to a kid.
Right.
So
okay,
again, for tonight's purposes, I'm not even going to engage with people trying to tell me that anger, other people are stupid because other people are weak. Other people are pitiful because of someone's mental illness. The anger I'm talking about comes from mental instability. And I refuse on my watch to allow someone to tell me that it's a kid's fault for being born to why they got bit by the pit bull outside the fence. It's equal to that. It is not the person's fault because they froze, because they didn't respond the way some angry person would. They're not the same.
Like if someone for like, these are almost examples of scenarios where the anger, and I know we'll get into this, but where the anger, like a person, like road rage, let's say a person honks at you to go.
Yes.
It's not that person's fault for honking at you for however, let's say, however that and then the pit bull bites, or that's I guess symbolizing. Okay, so that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a red light that turned green. My bad. The person behind me either toots the horn, beep beep, or they lay into the horn, beep. Either one. That's like the pit bull in the fence or out the fence. I get in my feelings about it, or my brain,
right?
What we're going to be talking about tonight. My brain inputs, it receives that information. It receives that I heard this person laying into their horn. I received that they just tapped their horn. The way my brain processed it, then this little part of my brain, the size of an almond, this little piece in my brain, the size of an almond, which controls emotions, chooses, let's say a Rolodex, it chooses anger. And then it sends that message to the frontal cortex of the brain. So the little almond people send it to the front of the brain and say, here you go, do with it as you may.
Right.
The people who say, oh, well, do with it as you may. Here's the weapon. Do weapons just jump up on its own and just pull it? Do the weapons, like, I know there's remote control stands you can use and different things, but on its own, the weapon by itself does not just fire at someone. The dog
takes
by
a
itself,
brain.
yes, it takes brains without being trained. And again, I'm not here for any political, like I have weapons. So I believe in the use of weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, my husband's in the military.
Yeah. So that part I'm
He's actually a sniper.
Oh, really?
Well, he was, but yeah.
That's my favorite position.
Oh, you guys could talk about that.
we got to talk about if I had a dream job, a dream position in the military, I would love to be.
Yeah.
My fantasy is like Green Beret or I'm trying to think of the different branches. Anyway, I always want to be like a
ranger or whatever.
A SEAL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
oh my gosh.
Would I make it? I don't know, but that's my fantasy. But I would, when I play the video games like Call of Duty, I'm usually on the team as a scout, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or I'm far away.
Yeah. Yep. See, no, that's I never make it. I always miss, and then they run.
Right. Or
anyway.
my job. I don't know if you heard me talk about my job. Where the job I had before, where I actually went into the homes last, because my part was social services to get kids. But so they go and do all the kick down the doors and stuff. But I'd go and with. All right. That being said,
right.
Those who are going to speak from that this thing is okay, it might be okay for you, and it might work. What I would like to offer the community, and the reason we are here, is to offer education about it. How you manage it is totally up to you. I don't want to fault. I don't want to shame. I don't want to bash anyone. How you deal with it is up to you. At the same time, please, if you're of the belief that someone else is less than, stupid, whatever these words are, because they don't utilize anger the way you do, that's unfair. That's disingenuous. And when we find out more of where this actually comes from, I'm going to say it's a mental health issue. So anger is a natural, normal feeling, whatever normal is. The way we manage it, but all that goes into mental health. It's unfair to say your mental health is okay that we judge someone based on our mental health. I think I beat that point. Let's move forward. Give a shout out to those who are here. Thank you. I do have the screen up, but just please, just want to give a general thanks to all who are here.
Yes,
the folks who are part of the network. Thank you for being here. The supporters, BMU, thanks for having the network and allowing this space. CBN is in the background. I'm not sure if Alexis from Texas is here, but she's one of the other techs. Lady Navoa, beautiful animated, working the narratives, the moderation. Every once in a while, we have a few others that stop over, the Quiet Storm, and a few others that stop over. If you're in the house, thank you. Lost in Translation, Nightish, all of our folks. I just don't have the list right now in front of me, but just want to give an advance.
Yes,
Thank you for swinging through, and thank you for listening to the replay. For my folks in the Philippines and India who listen in, thank you. For those in the group, let's get at it group. When you listen in, leave note on the board that you listened, and we'll talk. And so let's. Oh no, I said I want to pick a bone first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Notice how it's convenient there. Oh, wait. Let's go. But no, wait.
I know. I have the same way.
So I'm part of a group. I'm a moderator for a group. BDSM, and Poly. Okay. So one of the moderators.
Okay.
I'm not highly active in it. Not highly active, but one of the moderators that does some of the teaching, some of the I don't know if that's the. I really deal with a lot of the men who deal with jealousy issues. They have a one penis policy, so they can have multiple women, but he could be the only man in there, the only penis. But they say they practice polyamory. So then I talk a lot about the difference between polygamy and polyamory.
Right.
So it just one of the questions popped up, and my Facebook, my professional page was hacked. Coach K, what does somebody want with my stuff? All I do is educational quotes and all that. But I found out. My professional page, 30,000 deep, 30K deep, got hacked. I'm like, wow, I'm not selling anything. But if you're a hacker and you're producing fake information and can get people to sign up and pay for something, 30,000 is a good number, right? To send some fake stuff to, and hopefully they'll pay for it. So I got hacked. That being said, FB's response of support for me and they know it's hacked. They knew before I was hacked. Well, they had to know before me because they closed it. But my credit card company, hey, did you spend $500 at Facebook? No. Last night? No. And then I got another one the next day. Did you spend $450? No. So what's going on? And I do pay for advertisement, but not whatever this is. So FB's way of responding is to disable the account. Okay. You stop the send ID.
From spreading me.
Yeah. Send ID. My picture on the account looks like me. My picture on my ID looks like me. We're going to permanently disable. Because at the time I opened my page has been open 15 years. I have a different page where I have 15,000, and then I moved that page over because at the time you created pages, you had to have a personal account. You cannot open a business page without a personal account. At that time when you made pages, now you can have a page without a personal account. Some years ago, I moved all of that to my personal page. So remember, the original page is open. There's no activity. There's like a few sentences out of 10 years, like a couple of those posts that you couldn't even tell there's a live person. So I get it. If I'm on the FB side, it's like, is this page even real? But that was the page I needed in order to open a business page. Since then, it's linked to my personal page, and you have my ID. Their way of showing support was to disable the account. Cool. But I have what's called FB PTSD. So I have what's called FB PTSD. Not just that. I had another account for 15 years. Now you hear about all the passport bros. As I said, I've been going to the Philippines since 2009. I gotta look at my passport.
Yeah.
I've been going to India, in the Philippines since 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Not none of this new stuff.
Wow.
What was my point? Oh, luckily, the social media, FB, has free video, free pictures, free chatting. Oh, and yeah, I love it. Thank you. Because I've had all these connections with people in India, with people in Africa, with people in the Philippines, with people in Singapore, free.
Right.
Thank you, FB. But
Right.
the reason it's free to us, but then they sell to the, Coca-Cola. Somebody wants access to whatever the demographics, and then FB sells it. That's how they make the money. All right, let me make this quickly because I was going to jump into it, but then I start talking. All right. So anyway, that account, I posted a joke of a cartoon. There's a lady washing her hair, and she's reaching over for her husband to give her the blow dryer, and he's holding a revolver. Now, everyone thought it was funny. When I posted that, I got more laughs and little things. I posted that in 2017. FB in 2018 said, "This was your most liked post. You should post it again." I did. In 2019, they said, "Oh, here's one of your memories." There's like a little video thing. They play these memories, and then that thing popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I should post that one again."
Right.
In 2020, ding, you posted this in 2017. It goes against community standards. Take it down. What? 27, man, I don't know how far back that. What take it then. Then I got another one. Ding! There's another cartoon, another same kind of cartoon company, whatever it was. There's a lady wearing a fur coat, is like the design of a zebra, black and white. And her husband's taking her to the lion safari show.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, FB said, "This is violence against women. It goes against community standards." Ding, number 2. What are you talking about? Okay. Ding again. Didn't we tell you not to post this one with the hairdryer stuff? Ding, we already warned you. You suggested. And then ding,
Right.
your account is closed. We done told you a monkey tail not to keep posting these things. From 2017, 2018, 2019, closed. No chance to go into my account, take my pictures, my video for 15 years. Connections with people, I didn't even know their real names because we get these internet social media names, but we were connected. To my grief and loss. So ever since then, I've had what I call FB PTSD, and now they took my account of 30K deep.
This is too much.
People have been supporting through my professional page, Psychology and Coaching. People who've been riding with me for years, 30K deep, and the money I invested for. Now this time,
what helped you along the way, in a way,
And they let you go in and now they let you just download your content. Oh, okay. All right. Let's jump into it. See, now I'm being a hypocrite because I said let's jump into it, but you asked me how's I doing. I was going to tell you. There's an FB group that I'm in. I do the moderating. Here's the thing. One of them said, "What's the difference between polygamy and polyamory?" I'm sorry if it's already been asked. No problem. I gave a whole scenario. Parallel polyamory. So you have 3 boyfriends. We know of each other with consent. I'm down with you having those 3. We don't ever see each other. We never talk to each other. Parallel. And then the letters that you put, so you know the difference between like if the 2 men touch each other or date each other as well, or if they don't. So let's say it's a triad, 3 people, you put male, female, male, or the letters M, F, M. If you put 2 M's together, that means they're romantic together. So 2 M's together, 2 F's together, and then the third, or female, male, female. Now, because they were asking about triads, 3.
It's like a math equation.
Yeah, it's nice. Then there's a V, the letter V. So the point of the V, the point of the V, and the point of the V, that's 3. That's a triad. But
okay.
Like that means
it's like Reddit lingo almost.
Yeah. These 2 never don't do anything, but they're connected here at the hip. So I did all that whole map thing, and then the panel, the people just lit me up.
Oh, like the group members.
The group members. Why are you using female? What's wrong with you why are you using male? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because back then when we were talking about those things, that was part of the conversation. Hey, can I be in a triad with another guy? Does that mean I'm gay? Does that mean I'm bisexual? Does that mean that was the discussion? Like, you can't do no male, because females are like, man, it's hard to find men who are willing to be in a triad because they think you had to be gay, or it's hard to find men who are bisexual and honest about it. So that was part of the conversation. And would it matter if you were a male, if you're trying to figure out if you should be gay or not? Yes. Does it matter if you're a female, if you're considering, you mean you want us to be sexual? Yes, you have to have the conversation of those gender points. This group went ballistic. Oh, you shouldn't be about gender. And it threw me for a loop. Like, what are they talking?
You're like 2023 in a nutshell.
The moderator came on and said, yeah, you can't talk back to the moderator. We kick people out for less. Don't talk back to us. All my stuff was please, don'ts, and thank yous, and I apologize. I said, oh, is there a better way of saying this? Don't use gender. But the guy was asking, does it mean I'm gay if I'm in a triad with another dude? So how do I address dudes, or how do I do that if I don't mention? Well, is the fluidness and the fluid, and you don't mention how? Please tell. I'm asking how, please, do's and don'ts. Then 4 or 5 people coming. I said, whoa, this is kind of bullying. We're not bullying you. Well, it's 5 of you telling me not the same thing, and don't, and you should, and don't, and you need to, and I'll end with this, you need to unlearn. I said, I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm 50. I see the movie. For those who know the movie Life, I'm 50 years old, Claude. I mean, I'm unlearn what? And then check this out. The same way you're telling me to unlearn.
I'm trying to allow my emotions
back to a moderator because you are, and I'm not even talking, I'm asking questions. You're closed-minded. Please don't have, I had an anxiety attack when I saw the female, and I'm like, that's been my problem this week. Let's jump into this.
We should break that down at some point, because I do think, though, that highlights, and I'm not trying to be silly or like attacking, but that's kind of like the state of our mental fragility at this point as a society, I think.
Right.
When talking about those very serious, like, we can talk about gender and just relations and all those things, but anyway, continue.
Right. But if they go into the archives, if they go into the archives of that group, they will see we were drawn. Yeah, like, they talk about the Egyptians and the pyramids, how they have all the designs, and they're trying to figure out what the letters were. If you go into the archives of that group, and since I've been there in 2012, we were drawing those same pictures. This is a V. It equals the male, the female. This is a pair. We were drawing the exact same symbols and using those letters. And now all of a sudden, I'm talking to people who just joined the group like last 6 months, a year ago, 5 years ago.
They're trying to tell you.
I don't sound like I'm an old ancient, but I'm like, yeah, I was here when they started the group. I was one of the ones they asked to come to the group so I can help explain some of these things about jealousy. Yes, any non-gender person can be jealous, yes. But we were talking about, how do men deal with other men? How do you share? Are you comfortable going in the same area right after another man? Those were the conversations. Now, the person can be bisexual or gay and or non-gender, but we weren't saying, what is it like to go behind another non-gender person who has a penis? No, they were saying bold stuff like bleep, bleep, bleep. He stuck his bleep in that hole and you went right in, but isn't that nasty? And we were talking about, but if you put your mouth on the V belonged to, we weren't talking about a person who just had one installed.
Right.
Okay. And if they had it installed or not, we were talking about the fact that if you're going to put your mouth on it, you're going to put, so to have all this discussion, like, what are you guys talking about? And I was so proud because I put all this stuff thinking I was helping.
Like, you took the time to really give them the rundown.
So anyway, but they just they jumped all over, and I was holding my own, but then they said to me, well, you could get kicked out the group. I said, go for it. You think you think this makes me or break me because I'm trying to give information? You're gonna kick me out? You gonna bully me, but yet tell me I should accept? All right, let's go. I want to name some styles of anger. Thank you for your patience, and for those of you who I just finished saying, let's jump in it, and then I delayed it. I apologize. I take ownership. I did Coach K was, and I'm like, no, let's jump.
That was great.
So I apologize. I take ownership on that. It was unique that I was able to tell my story, so I do apologize. So to be fair,
that was it.
Did you have any?
No, that was an unfortunate story for you, but that was a good story. And I'm like, man,
Right.
I don't want a Facebook page at this point. But yeah,
Right.
like,
All right, let's talk about some different types of anger. There's assertive anger. Remember where it's coming from. Remember where it's coming from. Assertive type anger means it's healthy. It is healthy type anger. Anger is a natural emotion. It is a natural emotion. It works in our favor sometimes. Like there's a reason we are sparked to anger. There's assertive anger. So take that one part of the brain that creates the emotion or filters through the Rolodex to find the emotion that the body is sensing, and then it sends that to the front part of the brain to figure out what to do with it. Assertive anger, you're able to talk. Coach K, I'm not happy with you right now. I'm bothered by the situation. I'm feeling red. You don't feel red, but I'm feeling the blood flow.
yeah,
I'm
hot.
feeling the heat. I'm feeling the sweat. My heart is racing a little bit more. I feel the panic kicking in, the levels of disappointment that I'm going through my brain, but I want to talk about it, or I want to take time out so it doesn't rule my behavior. So that's anger, but it's called assertive anger. And I'm going to read some of these snippets again later. I will post my sites. So, I think I'm just pulling this out but considered to be constructive type of anger. Constructive is workable, is workable. And you can still be angry even after the conversation. Thank you, coach, for helping me understand. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for hearing me out. I still need a little time to woosah, but it was a healthy conversation. It was constructive and it didn't hurt anyone. Behavioral anger.
Hmm.
Behavioral anger. Now, just those two words alone is
Hmm.
anger with a certain type of behavior. Now, I don't know if any of you are gamers out there, and either you've done it or you watch people do it. They have a level that they can't. Or speaking of that
uh,
Call of Duty, I remember
whew.
times I'm a sniper and it takes someone out, and the second they respawn, now I don't control the game, but the second they bling back on the, but
They're
they blinged right in my scope, like right in my zone, and you take them out.
right,
You bleepity bleep, you must be cheating. And take the keyboard
right,
and smash and break off.
right.
Behavioral anger is anger
Oh,
that
I
jumps
felt that.
the boundary of emotional and physical, jumps the boundary,
Hmm.
jumps. Now, if someone else is stupid or an idiot because I responded, you took me out. How I'm the idiot in that, I don't know. But for
Right.
those of you who experience behavioral anger, Hulk smash right away. You went above and beyond the emotional and physical, and you acted out physically, breaking stuff, breaking things, breaking your keyboard. And that's just that one example, but whatever it is, breaking glass. Now, some people will say the healthy way to manage anger is physical activity. Take boxing, punch
So
the
like
bag.
smack the desk
Yeah,
or something
yes,
when people get mad.
yes. But breaking a glass window and now your hand is all busted and glass is maybe cut a vein. I don't know if that execution was the wisest. And now it put you have an injury because you didn't manage it very well or to the best of your ability. Well, when you get that mad, there is no controlling. That's the point. If you get that mad, recognize if you exhibit this type of anger, behavioral anger. And I know some people are aware of it, so they say it's best I'm not in that environment. It's best that I don't have access to because
Hmm.
I might break something, I might get hurt. I have to have a computer thing where you take the keyboard and bolt it in like a thing like a box. I still have access to it, but I have to bolt it in because I know a certain time in the game I might take it out and blam. I would lift it and blam. So you put in safeguards. So in case the behavior anger kicks in, you're able to do
Hmm.
something about it without wrecking something, without hurting someone else, without hurting someone else. The road rage you were talking about, Coach K, there's assertive anger. Open my door, right on the window. I got it. My bad. You really leaned into that horn. My bad. Or just move out the way.
Thanks.
Right?
Gosh.
Yeah. That I do. And honestly, I do that. That I make sure there's a wide hand so no one is saying I was just doing,
True. Right.
Yeah. But now if you know you engage in behavioral anger, so meaning you're gonna have a physical response, is it wise then for you to get out the car? Behavior means you might be one of the ones pumping your brakes real quick to see if they're going to hit you in the back end, or just stay in the whole green light now because you blew your horn. That's a behavior. And so was that the wisest thing to do?
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Oh, sorry, really quick. And if you're going to break any of this down, this can wait to you can address this later. But let's say with the behavioral anger and we put in safeguards, is that the best way to go about it? Because are we always going to have safeguards?
Right. Well, I think the safeguards work while you're learning to manage it. The goal, I would hope the overall goal is that you learn situations that this type of anger, depending what type of anger I have, I know situations that's going to lead to it.
Right, like trigger it where it's going to be harder versus moving to a neighborhood that has no kids or whatever. Like for now, we might work on the pit bull, analogy or whatever, but we might work on extra I don't know what that would look like before just moving to a neighborhood with no kids that are going to walk and walk around. You know what I mean? Okay.
Right.
But that does make sense.
So if I have the pit bull before moving into the neighborhood and trained to be a killer, then I might move into the neighborhood and have it wear the muzzle when we go outside, when I take it for a walk.
Right, while it learns.
Right. Because I haven't learned the neighborhood or the people or the way they're going to respond. So it's muzzle.
Right.
But what's the purpose of having a pit? What's the purpose of having a dog if you have to have it muzzled? Well, protection, yes, but until we learn the neighborhood and blah blah blah, I know in advance the potential risk of the behavioral response of my dog. So once I learn there's not that many kids here, or once I really have it trained to the point where it can respond to voice command respond, I might not put the muzzle on. When I go in public, knowing that the rage, because here's a golden question.
Yeah.
Is the Incredible Hulk always the Hulk? And he or she, or they work hard not to be angry. So they work hard to stay as Bruce Banner. Or whoever I forget the female version name, her name.
I've never even
Or
seen it.
is it that they are the Bruce Banner and the female version working hard not to be the Hulk? So am I really in general an angry person and I work hard to stay calm? I'm trying not to blow up. See, y'all my regular mode is sensitive, heightened, and angry, but I work hard to stay calm.
Is it both?
Is it that I'm calm, working hard not to?
Yeah. Could it be both? Like there's both cases?
There's both cases.
But more so the second one? Like you're always.
It depends. Your environment plays a role. Your environment plays a role. Your upbringing plays a role.
Right.
The stimuli to a situation. I haven't been angry in so long. Oh my gosh, I got a headache. Like I haven't been that mad in so long. Or the opposite. Calm actually scared me. You okay? Yeah, it's too damn quiet. Relax, enjoy the peace. Yeah, where I'm from, well, if it's peace, something ain't right. I'm always on edge. I'm always ready. Military, they train. You must learn to minimize the emotions. Get that out. That'll get you killed. or that gets deleted. So there's certain training that in certain situations you must be on alert. Doesn't mean you have to be angry, but that type of alert, that hypersensitive, yes. And then I have to work to calm down. I have to work to be that trusting. Can you imagine going to a community where they might strap up a kid with the bomb? So as much as I'd be like, hey, little kid, and da da da, I can't trust that. I might have a weapon drawn right here on the kid because I just never know because of their practices. If they don't fight fair, blah, blah, blah. So I'm always alert. And alert and anger is two different things, but that's I stay as the Hulk. So I'm ready. What's that quote? Be ready, stay ready to get ready, or get ready to stay, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my opinion is learn the skill set to manage anger, to be aware of when anger might come up. If you go to certain situations, if I go to play my boys in Tecmo Bowl or Madden, and I know we get heightened, and whoever's house it is, they consider that their stadium, so you got to go by their rules.
Right.
So when I go, I know we get hyped up. If you ever play spades or dominoes or whatever games people play, bridge or old maid or whatever, or concentration or war, or whatever, but the blam, the card, yeah. And people start talking crazy. Sometimes my friends call me like this. Sometimes they just listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, look, you like that. It's like, wow. Wow. But if I'm aware when I go into this environment, there's potential for me, my sensitivities. There's certain things, hey man, you can say whatever you want, but you start talking about my mama. I've had people get upset with me because I don't get angry. No, man, it's principle. Doc, I hear you. Doc, I'm losing respect for you. Why? Because I didn't blow up. I'm losing respect for you. You let him call you all kind of B's and B's and B's and B's. Well, this is not the first week we've been playing this tournament, is it? No, it's like the 9th week, and he's still showing up at the same places I'm turning up, right? And then when we're not playing, when we're at my tournament, he's still eating my pizza and stuff, right? Yeah. So I ain't heard him call me no B's outside the game.
Right.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Dude, don't. I'll tell you now. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna tell you now. Cool. But if you learn to master your scenery, your awareness, you learn to control yourself, you learn to observe and study your situation, study people, study behaviors. And once you learn the person, most likely they're going to repeat the same behaviors. So start to know the people. Who do you have in your home? Do you know the people you have in your home? I mean, do we really know them? We know what they look like and what they smell like, but do we really know them? Have we seen them during the season of argument? Have we seen them during the season of disappointment? Have we seen them during a sexual something? I would just kiss you and I would just, then it just changes. Like, what happened? Something came over me and you be playing, you be teasing. I be teasing. That's that stuff again where the baby's fault for being outside playing. It was the baby's fault for being born. And that's why my pit bull ate it, because it was the baby's fault. It was my fault that I unzipped or undressed because I thought I trusted you. It was my fault. Got it. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. That yes, definitely learn.
That makes sense.
Therapies, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which actually works on the way you think, behave, and act. And we will save time. All right. We will save time to get into some of these therapies and or coaching modalities. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do a few more of these. Chronic anger, chronic low-level anger that runs continuously. It's always like an idol is always there. Chronic. Now, some people know the chronic is something else, but chronic anger. And if you stay in this mode, if you already know you stay in this mode, there's certain situations you should not get yourself in. Now, I say if you also suffer from this kind, you have to be careful from personalizing so much. If you personalize everything, you're going to stay in anger mode. Personalize. Now, I personally believe that I don't personalize. And again, I watch some of these shows where I'm jumping and snapping back like, I thought you don't personalize. No, but they had to hear it. So some people will say I didn't. Some people would think they didn't personalize, but the fact that I believed that someone needed to hear it, the fact that I believe someone needed to hear the truth. Whose truth? Whose truth? And is it really about them not listening or me not feeling heard? Is it about
Have you? Oh, go ahead. Okay, I'll go. We talked about this. Oh, but this reminds me of have you heard of Byron Katie? She's I don't know what you would classify her as, but she has a thing called The Work, or it's like self-inquiry, but I need your love, is it true? That kind of thing. Really good stuff. But her book about there's one too about loving what is. I recommend her to everyone. But I need your love, is it true? It's a lot about like seeking validation and seeking people's approval, and how like even getting mad or telling stories, or like giving our input about things to be heard, but it's like, well, what's that about? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's usually about us, but continue.
No, it's spot on. It's usually an underlying something else that's going on that's triggering. But tonight I want to talk about the difference between trigger. In fact, Coach K, if a person is triggered, it's too late. By the time we get triggered, it's actually too late. I'll tell you why in a minute. I have to remind you to come back to that. If a person is triggered, we are actually too late. All right. Destructive anger. That's kind of self-explanatory. Destructive anger. What's the difference between behavioral anger and destructive anger? So one is the behavior that can rise to the point. It can grow to the point of destruction, but it doesn't always have to be destruction. It's the behavior. I'm reacting to things. The person toots their horn or lays into their horn. Yes, either way I have a reaction. Okay? Destructive, it starts at destructive. My reaction starts at destruction. So there was a really healthy debate I had last week, a couple of weeks ago, about if someone came into a place and started firing off a firearm, the people who just stand there like, whoa, 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 but we see there's some children up there. If you stand still, what's up with that? Now, I can say if you have assertive anger, you probably want to talk. Everyone calm down. It's going to be okay. Who has the weapon? Was that a firecracker? Was that balloon? What's going on? All right. That's assertive type behavior because we want to work it out.
Right.
Good. Probably not the best for that situation.
There needs to be action.
Action. There's behavioral anger, meaning there's going to be a reaction. But it could be that I go and get other women and children out the way. I get other men out the way. I get other non-gender people. I get anyone out the way. I lay on top of someone. I cover them. I run out. That's behavioral. I had a response. So it's really assertive / behavioral. My reaction, the behavior that I chose was about safety, was about this, was about that. Or even if I go toward, I may not use the best technique. Maybe I go shining the light down the hall. Now, pending which theory you follow, shining the light get you see, right? Because
they're gonna know where you are, but but you will blind them too. So
right. Well, some say doing this scares it's a threat to the people. Like, oh, there's someone coming. So one version says the light. You're announcing, hello. Someone's out there with a I hear you. I'm being silly, but this is a sensitive situation. So I don't make fun of those who experience that.
Right.
Excuse my humor, because with the competing theories, the one theory of believing shining the light type policing or security or monitoring is safe because you potentially scare off people if they run.
Right.
The
Right,
other
like having a
model,
light on outside your
yes,
house.
yes, yes. The other model
Right.
says, and you wait for the person with the flash. So
Right, right.
you wait for the noise. You wait for. So the reason I'm laughing is because when we have those debates, we actually crack each other up with the scenarios that we give you. So you're gonna come down.
Right.
And the other one is you ran when those doorbells ding dong. We are watching you and they run. So that's
Right,
that
right.
same theory. All right. So,
Right.
but if you have destructive behavior, then you know to protect and serve and smash. Kick down doors, then ask questions. Kick down
Mhm.
doors, then ask questions.
Mhm.
So again, a continued shout out if you weren't here at the beginning. Shout out to all those in the chat. I didn't take the time to pause to say salute to you all. Thank you for being here. For those who are the regulars, thank you. For those who are brand new, thank you.
Mhm.
Please do hit the like button when you come in. I know a few of you are going to hop to a different channel to get some of that content. Then you may come back. Either way, hope you catch the replay. Is mostly educational today
This
about
is
the different
good.
forms of anger, why it can be hurtful instead of helpful if you don't manage it or if you mismanage it, how it can be dangerous, and the fact that it comes from mental, psychological, neurological. So when
Mhm.
people say they can control it, it's like, oh, if you can control your neurology, awesome. If you can control, great. But where it comes from and how it cannot be the most positive thing if managed inappropriately, we'll tap into a few scenarios and how do you manage it? What models of support should you use? And then we'll wrap it up. So if you hit the replay, thank you for watching and listening on the replay. If you're here live, thank you. I see a few names off the front. I'll just throw out there real quick. Beautiful animated. Lady Navoa, thank you. Mr. and Mrs. He said, welcome to the space. LIT, Lost in Translations. Always thank you.
Hey.
Thank you for always being here. And a few others, Nightish, I think I saw. So thank you again. I'll keep going. Advanced hellos and greetings. Okay, destructive anger. Destructive anger could turn violent. It could turn into violence. So even though you have good intent, but because of the level of violence, significant violence, and the intent is out the window. The intent is out the window. And in romantic relationships, if you are sensitive about certain things and your partner doesn't understand, like if they say, yeah, good, you're finally getting angry about something. So I've had couples who say it seems like you don't give a shit about anything. So they actually are kind of happy to see you have an emotion. Finally, yeah, we woke up now. But please know if your partner defaults to destructive type anger, and it's not your responsibility to manage their anger. But if your partner has that type, then that method of, yeah, I woke you up now. Oh, we finally have some emotion. Please understand the risk that comes with that. Until your partner learns how to manage that, you're actually putting yourself in a dangerous situation by that person's choices.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
not helpful.
right. Moral and judgment type anger. Moral and judgment type anger, or what they call righteous anger.
Yeah.
So that debate I had the other day was with the person who was from the military telling me they have a right to take your head off. They have a right to take you out. They are a born deleter, and they have a right. It is you. That is what you do. And in certain situations, 1,000,000,000% correct. 1,000,000,000% correct. You go back to the pit bull and you say, well, I have a right to train my dog to bite a plug. You should know when you see a pit bull, you stay out of the way. You should know, kid, the scenario we gave, kid on the other side of the fence. That kid should have known they see a dog with teeth. It's their fault.
Right.
You have to understand, pending the situation, it may not be based on your righteousness.
Right.
So I agree, there is righteous and moral. In the art of war, it is about DEATH. It is. And I would expect there are the few people who say, I don't want to hurt you. You see the movie Saving Private Ryan? Could take
I've
you out.
still never seen that.
No, I could hurt you, but I'm not going to take you out. And then that person who was excused turned around and wiped out him. So,
right.
okay. Overwhelmed anger, overwhelmed. Coach K, you ever see someone so angry that they start crying? They weren't really meaning to cry, but the tears are flowing.
Yeah.
Or you ever see someone so angry they're laughing, like it doesn't even match. They have tears coming down and they're laughing. And, I would normally go through my theatrics. I like acting some of these out, but it's not congruent. The level of anger and overwhelm is not matching.
Right.
But what are the sensory things going on? We can normally feel when that's brewing, or the person we're talking to should be able to see it. I should see when the person is, and they're starting to, or they're giving signs. Please stop.
Like, really? Like, they'll like kind of like giggle, in a way.
Right. Listen. For real, like you're starting to piss me off. You're starting to piss me and then even the word verbiage, you're starting to piss me off. You're really starting to piss me to bleep off. Okay, so clearly you don't give it. I mean, they're giving these signs because, and then the eyes. I mean, it's like weight. It's weight on there. So we could see the signs. We could actually help those who experience overwhelmed anger. We can even help them with, I see. And do we have to get another word in? Do we have to still prove our point? We see it. And why does that look like a sign of permission to keep going? Why does that look like a sign to keep going? You seem maybe more relaxed, like you really listen to me now. No, that is not a welcome sign. That is not a, oh, tell me more.
Right.
Or I hope you're not falling asleep. I'm saying some serious, no, I'm not. I'm trying to listen, but this is not a welcome sign to go do more, push harder. That is not
like
a welcome
poking
sign.
a bear almost. Like that's what I think of when these instances occur.
Yes. The ones I just talked about, Coach K, those are pretty overt. We see them, we know of them. If those are our go-tos, we know of them. This next one is tricky for the people outside of it, and even for the person experiencing it. Passive aggressive. Passive
that's
aggressive.
a good one.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
Now, believe it or not, the person doing it doesn't always know. I'm not saying they're ignorant always. What I'm saying is they really believe that their passivity was like, no, you were being sarcastic, you were being rude, you were being no, you're just taking it that way. And then now watch the flip, because it's just that easy to flip and they don't always know it. No. Now stop. See this what I'm talking about. See, I just try to play with you. Boom, there's the flip. It was this very passive. No, I don't mind. You spilled on them. And they don't mind, or your partner digs in your plate and takes the last bite, like, come on. But usually the sign is when they're still talking about it a week later. No, let me get my stuff now because I know you'll take the last bite. Oh my God.
Right.
2 weeks ago. I'm just saying, man. So they're joking about it. But it hit a nerve. They're still talking about it.
Right. Ooh, yeah. I think women do that a lot. I mean, everyone could do it.
Yeah, but women.
But especially like mentioning it later on.
Yes. Now the hold on, we really remember. I believe in stimuli. So really, I'm not thinking about it in all due fairness. I really wasn't thinking about it. But when the stimuli hit again, ding, it popped in. So all week we haven't been sharing drinks or anything or eating anything. I wasn't thinking about it. We kissed and blah, 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 and shared. No, I wasn't thinking about it. Don't touch it, nasty. But is it really about just the fork? Is it really about touching my food as much as it is about possessiveness? As much as it is about control? as much as it feels complete, like completing this meal, but you interfered in me being able to complete my
Right.
sense of security, my sense of belongingness, all those different things that I didn't
Yeah.
speak to. But now the stimuli, we could watch something, we could watch a commercial together, and all of a sudden be like, damn, that's like you taking my, remember you, what?
Right.
So I'm holding up
That's so
passive,
real.
assertive anger. So the person observing doesn't even know you were that angry. So in domestic situations, when you see your partner, whoever's being the abused one, trigger alert. It's not. I'm not going to go into theatrics, but trigger alert, trigger alert. And Coach K, I hate that we've gotten to the point where we have to say that. But in fairness, trigger alert. If you're the one being bothered, if you're the one
Right.
being bothered, sometimes we go into shock mode.
Right.
The aggressor doesn't see you elevate in fear. They, through their lens, they don't see the elevation in fear, so they consider you still okay. That sounds a little cryptic, but without me going into the intensity of it, without you increasing in the visual discomfort. So if you're only like this, like don't, but you're really afraid. Now I didn't even notice the shaking. I didn't even notice the frozen. I didn't notice the mouth open or closed. I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to the eyes. All I see is that your vision. It looks like you didn't raise in fear. So here's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm increasing in my expression because I don't think you understand. I don't think you feel it. Like you don't. So you're not increasing. So I'm increasing in the name of getting you to the point. Like okay. But if you don't get to that point, and I do, boom.
Right.
Later, the conversations are, I don't think they'd be listening to me. I think they think when I respond like that or react like that, that I'm a joke. No one thought you were a damn joke. And when you looking at me, it actually looked like you were even laughing at me. Like, it looked like you were laughing. No, that's like a nervous laugh. There's nothing. No, I was scared. I pooped on myself. What are you talking about?
Right.
So the passive aggressive is, I mean, they're all dangerous, but that one is dangerous and scary, and mostly because of the unknown, and that it appeared that you accepted it the first time, and they can come back anytime. Some people have an anger episode and they're done. They're done with that episode. Passive aggressive, it could be months later that they're still going on about something. There's conversation that's passive aggressive, and it seems like you didn't understand me. And the reason I keep repeating it is because I don't feel heard. You're not listening. I don't feel hurt. But the passive aggressive anger, it includes not only not feeling heard, but purposely pulling back and then going back into it. So in addition to not feeling heard, I'm purposely pulling back, using sarcasm, jokes, different methods, being passive. Oh, it's all good. But I'm still processing in my mind. I don't know if you know people who are processors. Like you ever have a meeting at work? Any questions? No, I'm good. But then later you process on your own, or you talk to someone and you're like, what did, and then 2 days later, yeah, the other day you were, whoa, I thought you said you had no more questions. If you're like that, so those listening, if you know that's your normal, whatever normal is your normal, speak to that. No, you know what? Thank you for asking. I don't have any questions at the moment, but I am a processor. I need a day or two to process what I just need to. Oh, what part didn't you understand? I think I heard everything you said. It takes me a minute or two to process, so just bear with me. So be willing to speak to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Woo, retaliatory anger.
Ooh.
Now, on the surface, when I think about retaliation, it's like, well, something happened to you, so now you're snapping back. We have to be careful with this one, with anyone really, but we have to be careful because do we know the person's true intention that we're retaliating against? It doesn't matter what their intention was, what they did to me. They should have known better.
Oh my
That kid should have never
gosh.
been born. That kid should have knew better to be born, and it would have never ran into my pit bull and da 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 da. Right. Okay. But retaliation means I hold on longer, and I might be really ruminating and stewing over this stuff, holding on longer and longer, building, building, building. And it's not always aggressive. It's out of an anger state of being, but I'm not really angry emotionally. So therefore, I engage more in the setup.
Right.
I can even have fun, like messing with your drink, just to have you tripped out. Look at you now. Huh? Look,
Mm-hmm.
I can do. I have couples who see me where it's not always the guy. In this situation, it's more men than women reporting, or men on men who are reporting. Uh, we did it with the lights out. Um, I'm bent over. I thought there was something different, but whatever was ever. But really, what they did is their boy was in the closet, or their friend, like they're not interested in sharing you. On the average, if you said let's do some, yeah, I don't know. But the retaliation type anger, I went past yield signs. I went past stop signs. Damn, if you're my woman and I love you, it's about I'm going to get you back.
Ooh.
And so the danger in that, look how far people will go. How much will they violate? Children. I know people, offenders who set up their children. You call CPS, huh? No, you had to do what you had to do. And they engage in retaliatory type anger is so disabling. They blow past the yield signs and the stop signs of this is my child. They blow past that. And they're more into the setup. They're more into the setup. It's after that they hate themselves. It was never intended. I didn't mean it. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? But the retaliatory type anger is so dangerous. And the people who speak to it as in, yeah, but that means I get people back. I get people back.
Do you though?
In fun situations, like I said, doing something to someone's drink, salting the, grooming and abuse, adding the salt, making some crazy concoction, vinegar, and like watching, I finally got you back. But I'm talking about when it becomes dangerous. Dangerous.
What if they're diabetic or something and you do that? Or like,
correct.
So, but anyway, go ahead.
The health risk you took on someone because you did out of that retaliatory. Now, this is not, again, I'm not talking about you did something to my family, I'm going to get you back. I'm talking about the type where you perceive. It was your perception. It was your thinking error. If you were incorrect, it was your thinking error that this person did something to you on purpose to hurt you, to do something to you, and now you're plotting to get them back, and that was never their intention. Never. That's why it's dangerous, because I'm not talking about you got me, I get you back. I mean, that's part of it too, but I'm talking about those who are engaging in faulty, they're getting caught in narratives that don't match. And then they engage in this retaliatory type.
How often does that happen?
Man. And sometimes we have agreements because we think that we're friends when we're not those type of friends. Do you ever have a friend where it's a dual role? You're my boss and my friend, and then you have to write me up for something? No, hey, you had to do what you had to do. Passive aggressive, but yeah, you had to do what you had to do.
Right.
But did you understand that that particular relationship that you have, there's going to be, did you understand that? So was that act really to get you or holding you accountable to something in their role?
Mm.
You have to be careful when you're friends and one of the persons become a supervisor. But that's one thing. But if you're the type that practice retaliatory type anger, you have to be careful. Lashing out and wanting to hurt a person because you believe they hurt you. Not what you truly felt. That hurt. I didn't like what you
Right.
did. I didn't like that. That hurt is real.
Yeah, yeah.
The perception of why you did it or what you did.
Right. I love this example and I use this all the time. Now of course I've built awareness over time, but I'm driving on the road and I'm just like out lost in space. And then I notice that this person had their turn signal on. They had it. I don't know how long, but I was like, oh, my bad. Like I didn't even notice, that you had your turn signal on. You were trying to get over. It was too late. But I don't know. I think they had to drive up or whatever. And then later, and I felt really bad about that. And then, after that, days, weeks, I don't know. I'm trying to get over and I'm gonna miss my street. And this person will not let me over. And I'm like, oh, I want to follow this person and be like, why do you let? But I'm
Right,
like,
right,
Katie, maybe they didn't see your turn signal either,
right,
which
right.
I don't know. Maybe they were a jerk, but either way, I was like, ooh, I kind of like, speak to myself, obviously. Like I
Yeah,
have that conversation when I,
right,
calm myself down. I'm like, ooh, Katie, see, you do the same thing. Like, ooh, you're
right.
right. And then I didn't do anything. I didn't retaliate.
Yeah. I want to give another example. This is a unfortunate one that I deal with a lot of couples. Uh, Trigger alert is not. It's just the topic is about how people allow themselves to be treated. SBU, if you hear this, I would like to address some of the things you said about why would any woman, if she were smart, I say SBU, but anyone who's talking to the smartness of a woman who's allowing men to continuously abuse them.
Ooh.
Now, retaliatory anger, believe it or not, plays a role. If if at some point in childhood I witnessed abuse, not even have it happen, witness, or have it happen, pending at the hands that it happened at, if it comes with a person that's supposed to keep me safe, I have fun with, a teacher, a friend, a family member, abuse intertwined. I don't have my what we talk about hardwiring. So neurology, hardwiring. The belief is the behavior was bad, but the feel good was also involved. Why would you continue to allow this person to do it to you? But if it means that I get held, if it means that they actually pay attention to me,
Yeah, I'm
if
seeing.
it means they're actually noticed,
Mhm.
this retaliatory type anger means I intentionally do something. It's an anger, but it's a plotting, it's a something to cause a reaction out of you that will then lead to a behavior that I don't desire, but in my mind, I believe I deserve. It's not something I want or desire, but in my mind, I believe I deserve. And I actually retaliate against myself.
Mm.
You know you fucked up, messed up, don't you? You know you. So the retaliation to self, the retaliation to self
Mm.
through abuse. I'm an idiot anyway. I deserve this. Boom. It's a vicious cycle. So I just wanted to say that no is not some, usually it's female, it happens to males also. And then non-gender or queer people, it happens to anyone who has this belief. historically, I'm used to whoever's considered the submissive one or the female that will allow this abuse or engage in retaliative type anger, frustration, like I purposely, like I zing. So there's playing. So if you're in the bed reading Coach K and I come in with the Nerf gun, you're like, stop, don't. And I'm like, you're like, I pissed you off, I bothered you, I irritated you.
Mm-hmm.
If we're at a restaurant, laughing and talking, I know it's only water, but I'm like, shut up. What?
That's a good question, though. Really, I don't even know what I would answer.
Some people just. And then there's a response when we get home. I didn't desire that, but what did it get me? It got me the attention. It got me the touch. It got me, you hear me now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you add in, well, I'm a piece of, and I deserved it, and then I get that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And some people say you don't learn. It seems like you won't learn it's like you won't learn unless I do that to you. Why do you do that? They'll argue to death. This is not the passive aggressive. I'm talking about I needed to spark. I needed a reaction out of you. I intentionally pushed.
Right.
But it was only out of one, retaliation to myself. Like, see, you're stupid. You don't deserve. You could take me out, show me an excellent time. And I'm thinking I don't deserve it. So now I retaliate against self, cause a situation where now I'm being violated in some way. And that's soothing. You ever pick at something where it hurts so good?
Mm-hmm.
It hurts so good.
Yeah.
Ow. And it bleeds.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts so good.
Yep. Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't.
Right.
All right. So anyway, that takes training. That really takes training to know that you're going too far, or recognizing when your partner is like that. Self-abusive anger, that's kind of self-explanatory. Self-abusive, people who are, I don't want to do another trigger alert. People who are self-harming.
Yeah.
But remember, these are all about the way they perceive things. Is it actually true? That's the danger in it. Are these things true? But no one liked my post. No one wrote back to me. No one called me. Did you think that no one was thinking about you? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a reality check. Do people really care about us that much? Are you able to name 3 people who actually care? I don't mean condition, like our relationship. I want you to text me every morning. I want you to call me, show me you. I'm not talking about conditions or agreements. At the end of the day, and this is where some of the survivalists say, you damn right I'm going to do X, Y, and Z because no one cares about you. And if you get out there and believe someone is supposed to be caring about you, you're the fool. So the self-defeating, self-harming type anger, where does that come from? If that's coming from expectations, you've lost right there. Expectations is the fastest way to disappoint me. To disappoint you or disappoint. Yeah, my expectation is the quickest way to disappointment.
Yep.
Your expectations is the quickest way to disappoint you. And we engage in then this self-defeating anger because someone else or something outside of us didn't meet the expectation. And it doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
Nope.
And the last thing to consider about that self-defeating part, the scary part is, self-deletion. Self-deletion in most cases was a practice gone too far. In most cases, self-deletion was a practice, was a prep, was an impulsive move gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
So the self-defeating, self-abusive, self-danger, whatever type anger comes with the risk of going too far. Okay. Silent anger. Silent anger. Okay, you get upset, you don't name things, you don't talk about it, you don't express your emotions.
Is this stonewalling technically?
Stonewalling is, yeah. Silent grief, silent ignoring
Silent
people,
treatment.
silent treatment, not expressing yourself. But it's really about the expression, not expressing. Not people know me. They should. You know what? If you truly know me, you should already know when I'm mad. Right?
If you
Boom.
care, yeah. If you care, yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree. If I truly know my partner, if I truly know people in my life, my family, whatever, if I truly know, we're talking to BMU. There's certain situations that he knows. We were talking about. He said it publicly that his family knows. Don't get him involved. There's actually intentional silence. Don't get him involved. Like keep that part silent to a certain point. Silent to a certain point. Now it seems unfair, but the people who truly know you, they know the potential for your reaction. And sometimes we think, someone's a wuss or whatever, like, see, yeah, go on. Please don't let the silent anger fool you. Some of those people are the most dangerous people out there. I think Grooming and Reviews was talking about if you have a purpose, if you have stuff to live for, kids, jobs, sense of purpose, family, you don't mess with those people because they will fight to the end. They will defend to the end at all costs necessary. But the people with silent anger, they hold on to that, and usually they implode before they get a chance to explode on others. They implode. So in other words, it bubbles up. They reach a certain point where they didn't manage it well.
It's like a beach ball underwater.
Yes, and it has health risk. So some people say that's why you react right away, or you retaliate right away, or you handle it right away, blah blah blah, because you don't want to hold on to it. But the silent anger that I'm talking about, let me read it out how they have it. People who experience silent anger tend to keep things that upset them inside. Ooh. They don't often express their emotions when they first feel them.
They don't process it.
Correct. You disrespected my auntie, you disrespected my cousin, you said a certain thing to my kid, but I didn't talk about it. I didn't process it. I didn't even attack you. I just held on to it. Like, we might be in public. We might be whatever, and I'm just not quite understanding what I should do, how I should do it. Not retaliation type anger, not retaliative anger. I'm talking about just silent. In relationships, how many times do you feel disrespected and you haven't said a word, but the other person is none the wiser? None the wiser. Coach, if I not you, if I'm with a person that that Facebook thing got me using a lot of this appropriate language and stuff. I was about to say, if I'm a menstruating person.
I was about to use that earlier. Birthing person. That's my favorite. My well, I don't want to say my sister because that's not, but my twin, sure, that's non or gendered. They're gonna be a birthing person tomorrow.
Right. Now, I want to go off what I know as biology, and people told me to unlearn it. But my point is the person who menstruates, but now to give credit for those who are non-gender or are transitioning, for those who are doing that, because the feeling is the same, not the flow, the emotion I'm about to talk about. If I'm wanting to touch you in a romantic way, and you're not in the mood because of the sensory that's going on with your menstrual or psychological menstrual, and what is usually the response? What's the common response to the person who's not feeling it? What's the common response to the person who wants to feel it?
Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, or it's, there could be many, but you know that I'm on my cycle,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Right.
I
So
guess, I don't know.
yeah. So, well, I mean, I don't know if you've been in that position, so not personally for you, but the position of
Yeah,
like
with
having to
anger.
say no because one, the expectation you should already know. Like, come on now, how long have I been with you? And you should know. Like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't guess it, and I'm sorry you didn't have them in them thick pads I could see from behind. Look like you're gonna play football. I'm sorry I didn't know.
Right.
Right? Okay, I got it. But my point is, most people shoo the person away because of the situation. That is not a hard and fast no. So
Right.
the shoo away, the person going away doesn't hear a hard and fast no. They
It's
think
like
try
subtle,
next
like,
time. They think
mm-hmm.
try next time, try again, come back, come back. So then the silent anger, the person they're angry that you even have the audacity to do something like that. But understand, if you're the type that's silent and don't express yourself, how does another person know? We can't always assume that someone
Right.
knows. So there are many people who I talk to, and they're like, I stay angry, Doc. Like, and it's like people don't even care. How can they not know they are disrespect? Have you ever said, no, I shouldn't have to tell them?
Or like stress at work. They'll say that, like, I'm so stressed. They don't help me.
Yes,
They don't help around the house. And it's like,
yes.
but, and I
And
will say, women say this a lot. I'm going to pick on them a little bit. They say this a lot about men. And they'll say, how doesn't he know? How does he not
right.
see all that I'm dealing with?
Well, yeah, because I'm not was it intuitive? I'm not paying attention. But then there's the belief of if you're on your cycle or menstrual, then is it my job? I mean, when you say no, what do you mean no? Like you're gonna try something else? You want me to touch somewhere else? So there's a
Right.
belief that all access to your body, it may not be down there, but you have good oral hygiene. Anyway, the point is, please know if you don't speak to things at a job, usually is out of fear. I don't want to lose the job. I don't lose the money. Is a dependency. Even in relationships, it's dependency.
Right.
Dependency. So I don't speak to that dependency. So I suffer in silence. I stay quiet. I endure. Endure. But silence leads to implosion. At some point, I snap out. And is that healthy? Now you're missing sleep. Your nutrition is off. Your hygiene is off. It starts to impact you psychologically, physically.
No one wins.
No one wins. So, and I see some of the comments popping up. Let me rush through a few of these so we can then only have about a few more. Verbal anger, nasty at the mouth. Your weapon is your mouth.
Ooh.
Weapon is your mouth. You say some of the most hurtful things and you know it too. Slice and dice. Slice and dice. Yeah. but vulnerability. Vulnerability with share your vulnerabilities with a person who experiences or practices verbal anger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now some people say, yeah, those are the best ones that get popped in the mouth. but the sacrifice for the pop might be worth it. And
that's like getting the last word in too.
Yes.
It's like the same people.
And I know what comes with it. I understand that you may walk away, you might ignore me, you might curse me out, you might hit me, but in fact, if I didn't get it, I probably didn't say I gotta go deep.
Right.
Some people say the nastiest things. Use a mama's, you act like, oh, I hate you. You don't try nothing. Like a person just say, I care about you. You don't care about nothing. What?
Right.
I care about it. You don't care.
Right.
You don't care. Stop it. You claim you love me. What kind of love is that? Do you think I'm just anybody? Am I just anybody to you? I bet your homeboy would verbal.
Right.
All right, deliberate. it is almost it covers some of the areas we just talked about, but deliberate anger, that's a style of anger. Deliberate. I'm intentionally angry and I'm going to engage in these behaviors on purpose. I want to see the world burn. Just that simple. It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. Period. Got cough.
I'm wondering.
I'm trying to get the mute button. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
It's
should I cover?
Oh yeah, it's the way of the world. I don't give a.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I want everybody mad with me. Everyone mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be the only one up in this beef. So deliberate. All right. Addictive anger, Coach K.
Ooh.
It's an addiction for some people. It's an addiction for some people. I was talking to the Seds family, the Seds. Why would parents watch their kid do something and then turn around and call the kid stupid? Why do you let your kid watch the video, sing the song, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then when the school has a question, you attack the kid. And they were showing a video where the parent was stealing the Halloween candy, like just.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And when the people on the camera or the people came out and said, whoa, 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 what's going on? The person said, oh, the kid really wanted, oh, Billy, don't take all the candy. Now, that parent who snaps out on that kid, it's like, wait a second, whoa. What happened? There's a belief that I'm always right.
Ooh.
And I use you to protect my rightness. I'm addicted to being right.
Always finding a problem, maybe too. Sometimes, like, could it look like that?
Problem. If it's
like always finding a reason to be mad,
yes,
kind of, or angry. Okay.
Convenient too, right? Conveniently. I wanted something to fall in my favor or disrupt something. I don't want to go to the party. I just messed up everything, and now we're not going. None of us going. Well, oh well, then fuck it. Oh well. It was deliberate. It was very like sabotage.
Messy.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
But see, that's an addiction. Like that's what like you feed the addiction. You feed that.
You crave that state. Like it's almost like it's become so normal that when it's like that, you want to, like your brain wants to get to that point. And obviously we don't know this, and what I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, what it translates to from an awareness standpoint is, I'm going to find something to be mad about, or well, you don't actually say that, but like, that's kind of how it occurs.
Well, some people do. They say, no, time out. I'm going to be pissed about something. I already know I'm going to be pissed. So let me, right? They say it. So this type of anger is related to the adrenaline and dopamine. So the reason it becomes addictive is like it's on a schedule. The dopamine and adrenaline rush. I'm gonna go beat someone up tonight. You ever see about someone just walking down the street randomly, just bop, and it's like, what in the world? They deserved it. Now that doesn't sound like anger, but that rush that they get from that particular behavior. Yeah. And then angry if you didn't understand it, man. That's your dumb fault. That's your problem. There's the anger. So that one small part of the brain, the size of an almond, is feeding to the frontal cortex. Hey, they don't understand you. Then they're not rocking with you. They're acting stupid. Frontal cortex is all that messaging saying, you're the dumb one that you didn't understand where I was coming from. You knew this was going to happen. Every so-and-so.
Right.
You knew it. Quit playing. It's an addiction where
go ahead.
Feeds. Yes, go ahead.
No.
Well, it feeds the dopamine. It feeds. You can actually become addicted to the feeling. Sex.
Yes, that's the substance here.
Huh?
That's the substance. So in his definition, in Trey's definition, that's the substance that we're addicted to, and the adverse effects of not having that dopamine or whatever.
Yes.
We're that's why some people, they can't, for example, this is weird, like everything is too calm or whatever. That's almost them suffering from not having the substance. People that have to be busy all the time, they can't sit still. It's like, well, I would say sometimes it's like they don't want to be with their thoughts, but they need that dopamine release. Scrolling phones.
Yes.
It's the same thing. That's the substance that they're addicted to. But continue.
Yep. No, spot on. And you said, Trey said that, and I see his thing now, physical and mental dependency on a particular substance. Yes. So feeding that. And without even knowing, it's like clockwork, where some people don't even realize they're addicted to it. You stay on anger. Like, oh, you always find a reason. Or you always, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Did you see yourself up on the panel? No, that doesn't mean. I mean, did you see yourself in the mirror in the work? Did you watch yourself on the? That wasn't me. That wasn't. You're tripping. Don't try and put it off on me. Denial, just like a person who's an addict that's in denial, and then gets angry because if you point it out. Did I even ask you to point out? I mean, maybe I missed the memo. When did I ask you to tell me about what I am and all that?
Right.
Mr. Righteous, tell me, Mr. Righteous. When did?
Ooh, yeah, we talked about that one earlier. Yeah.
All right. So here's some tips. First of all, recognize it. Anger is a natural emotion, but if we don't recognize, we get excited when we know payday is coming. We get excited for something. If you make enough money, if you only make enough money to pay bills, you don't get too excited for Visa, right? But in general, we get excited when there's a reward. When there's a reward, we get excited. Hey, come on, we're going to Ruth Steak tonight. Ruth Chris Steakhouse tonight. Let's go. Ooh, you're getting a massage. Ooh, the reward we get excited about. We plan for this. We map out our paychecks. We map out the different things. We map out what are we doing to map out situations that we know will lead to feeling angry. What are we doing to map it out? Now, it doesn't mean you actually map out anger, but at the same time, start to learn your seasons and your reasons. Learn your seasons and your reasons. If there's a grief, there's a loss in the family, rest in peace to all of those who you have significant others who you lost. But if you know July, we lost so-and-so the second week of July, and have you ever noticed people saying, ooh, it's like you change around the second week of July. And that change didn't happen on the second week. Your brain, and again, look into neurology stuff about the brain work, even have a brain scan. That's another whole conversation about trauma on the brain, not a traumatic episode. I'm talking about dips and valleys in the brain that impact you. Get a brain scan to actually see. That's why I have the addiction issue. That's why I have an emotional issue. That's why I have an anger issue. But the point is, once you become more aware of your reasons and seasons, so you can prepare for July is not a good month. And I'm working on, but I grieve internally. Start checking out. You don't have to be spiritual, but look into your spiritual growth and your spiritual healing. Spiritual growth. And then if you believe in astrology, look into what the zodiac say about your season and about your understanding of life and what's going to happen if you're into astrology. But the point is, look into these things. Seasonal disorder. Right now, there's so many people struggling, they don't even know. They'll say, is it a full moon? But it's really not so much the full moon as it is the absence of the sun.
Right. This is the time of year.
Right. So where I live, or in Alaska, you're talking about midnight dark at around 5 p.m.
Yeah, right.
So that impacts people, especially if you're gone several months, 7 months or so, like the sun has gone down around 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oof.
Now it's done at 5, and you fall asleep. And normally 9 o'clock is like, ooh, it's getting late. You look out, it's dark out. Ooh, it's getting late. Woo, and now 5 o'clock. So that same woo, based on the conditions outside,
that affects you, your circadian rhythm. Like that's when your brain knows when it's time to go to sleep.
Absolutely. So you might have to Well, you don't might have to, but
Adjust.
if that's a fact, yes, you have to adjust. Learn your seasons. Learn when you feel disappointed. What types of things?
Mm,
Give a laundry list to your partner or whatever to say, hey, it doesn't mean that they're going to make it all right. It just means, I'm going to be honest, I'm sensitive about certain topics.
mm-hmm.
I'll work on not being sensitive, but my reality right now is that I'm sensitive to certain topics. Then here's the challenge. And I don't know if you do this with your clients, coach, but I challenge people to do what's called a behavior chain. A behavior chain. So you imagine one of those linked chains, one of those linked
Mm-hmm.
chains. I want you to think about what were you thinking about? Or what were you feeling? You can go in any particular order. CBT is about thinking, acting, and feeling.
That's
So
what I teach my clients pretty much.
yeah. So what were you feeling? What was going on with the feeling? My feeling was loneliness, abandonment, neglect. No one cared about me. I was upset. I was angry. That's the feeling. So then what thought kicked in? I'm kicking in
Grief.
ass, right?
Yeah.
They disrespected me. So now this thought is a thought. What evidence, and Coach K, I've heard you speak to this. In fact, I've witnessed you diffuse a situation because you asked, where is the evidence? And once the person didn't have it, they tried to backpedal out of it, but there was no evidence to it. And some people say, I don't have time for no goddamn evidence right now. I know what I feel. I don't need you telling me, listen, I'm not gonna argue with you over, well, no, but right there, what is that about? Because you don't have the evidence, so you're gonna force it? Which one of these angers are you really like that forced? I'm going to continue even without the evidence.
I know what I feel, and it's like because of what you're thinking, which
Yes,
let's look at it. You know what I mean? Because you may not still be feeling that,
right.
maybe.
What if I lock on
Yeah.
it though? I believe that I'm right and I stay locked on it, on that belief or that thought. So my core belief
Right.
where
Mm-hmm.
did you learn this? Where did you learn how to be a
Mm-hmm.
man? Where did you learn how to be a woman? Where did you learn how to be the person that you are? Where did you learn that? I say the learning stage came from what you observed. And then how much of what you observed you take on now and you believe it to be right. And those are the truths that you hold to. And when you feel violated, that you feel like someone violated your truth, but is it society's truth? Now, I say you don't have to go by what society says. And I was just having this conversation earlier, part of my disappointment and anger when these people were coming at me saying, remember, I thought I was doing something good. And usually people say, well, we didn't ask you. This person did ask. They did ask. Hey, what's the difference between polyamory and polygamy? They asked. And I'm in the group and I said,
Right.
well, here's a perspective. If you ever listen to anything I say, I usually add, here's a perspective. It's just one view. I say, here's a perspective. And I laid it all out, male, because the conversations used to be, is it gay if there's two males in the triad? Dudes, males, that's misogynistic of you. That's patriarchal. You're still continuing a patriarchal systems like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I know. You need to unlearn it. And what does that mean to unlearn it? So now, and I'm just using that as an example. I don't want to go back to my
That's a great
situation.
example, though.
But yeah, but so now I'm thinking, I feel violated. But where's that violation? What is the evidence that I was violated? They were advocating for themselves. So is the person advocating a true violation to me? I'm the one who perceived the words unlearned. I perceive that as you telling me I need to take it. I'm the dumb one. No one said in that chat I was the dumb one. I felt
Mm-hmm.
some kind of way. I thought some kind of way. And now I want to act some kind of way. And depending my action, it can go from, did you just call me stupid? And I'm feeling, right? I'm feeling this. Now I'm thinking, overthinking. For you overthinkers out there, you know who you are. It's not something
Mm-hmm.
new. You already know if you said to yourself, you have to forgive me. Sometimes I have a tendency to overthink. If anyone else has
Right.
ever told you independently, not like a people at a committee meeting, if anyone told you independently, you overthink sometimes. So now, even if you don't overthink, just the thought, but if it's not the most correct thought, it's erroneous, it's error, it's what in DBT, it's it'll take me a minute, but it's a certain type of thinking that's not correct. And now I'm going to act on that. I was either overthinking, black or white thinking, exaggerated thinking.
Oh yeah.
Distorted thinking.
Yes.
So my thinking is distorted. I take it as spiritual and holy. I take it as cement. Now I act on it. My actions, do they match the truth? At the end of the day, is there anything worth your serenity? My kids. Defending your kids, absolutely. But at some point, learn how far to go, because you might defend against one, but there's an entire world out
there. Right.
So we can defend against one. And I was even telling BMU, like, sometimes the reason we find comfort in even going there is because my belief and some evidence, my belief is that I actually have the support. You ever see those movies or hear about when the person, their wife says, husband, you got to do what you got to do and I won't be mad at you. What? Be that man. You have my, go be that dude. And he just gets, right? You ever see a father tell his son, I've always known I'm you. You're me. What? You're not disappointed in me? I tried to be just like you. And even in that movie, Dream, something about the dreams, what he said, I was trying to be like you. And the father was like, oh, I wasn't disappointed in you. I was disappointed in you trying to be like me. What?
Right.
So this practice of knowing I had the support, helpful, but if you can't manage that extra support, I'm gonna go wild. I have family to back me up. You ever seen those movies or a real life situation when you turn around and there's no one behind you? Like you're talking about, yeah, buka.
Right.
Or people say you're on your own. So you have to be careful between the perception of having that support and actually having the support. But be careful, because if you have the support, not to use that as a permission giver. You ever know people when they get held back is when they get really, no, just stay back. Oh, I was gonna kill you. I was gonna kill you. Right? Because they have the So with that being said, practice finding that evidence.
Ooh, yeah.
And again, if you're in a situation, emergency situation, it's not time for evidence. Act.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
Take action. With Coach K, there are some people who can't take action because they've never experienced that, and they freeze. They freeze. They don't know what to do. I say get out the way. Get out the way. But I've been guilty of that myself, where next thing I look up and I see in my rearview mirror, there's the police or the ambulance like right on my tail, like, whoa. You get the attitude like, oh my God, slow down. you see the ambulance with the lights and telling it to slow down. That makes no sense. But it was because of my shock and awe, like, whoa, I didn't even. So my embarrassment, my shock and awe, but I need to get out the way. But there'll be people who really feel justified in like, whoa, slow down. I don't care if you have the lights on. Are you kidding?
Right. Like, whoa. It's like, what?
Yeah. And they feel justified by it. So I know Trey and a few others were like, those are the last people we need in those situations. Those are the last people we need in front of us, because they actually make
they're a liability.
Yes. So minus the situations where people are liabilities, please be aware of your thinking, acting, feeling. To manage, what can you do to diffuse? What is your backup plan? How do you diffuse your anger? How do you diffuse your anger? The Hulk, and I know there's the female Hulk, and but the one that I know, He actually runs away. When the threat is
Mm.
over, he runs away and then reduces himself. The female one, I watched a few of the episodes, but I don't know the whole background of the
I don't
cartoon.
know anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know how she. In fact, I think I'm not mistaken. Didn't she take a dose? I don't know. I was gonna say I think she took a dose where she stayed. This is
Oh.
the TV version, but the point, all this is TV or cartoon. But
Yeah,
the Mad
yeah,
Hawk runs away because he's becoming vulnerable. When he reduces, he runs away. What is your plan B? What is your anger reducing practice? Now, I'm not talking about stay away. I just need to. That's why I just stay home. I don't get involved. I don't never leave the house. I never leave the house. I never leave the house. I'm talking about your anger reduction plan, not a forever stay away from people in the world. Those are two different things. But what is
yeah.
your
Right.
anger reduction plan? When do you feel righteous? If the anger was about you not feeling heard, acknowledged, righteous, at what point do you feel righteous and you can actually ease down? At what point do you feel righteous and it's okay to calm down? Does someone have to hurt? When they're bleeding and down on the ground, you ever know about those people in the movies or whatever, or in real life where the person is down, but this person doesn't feel complete. They don't feel
Mm-hmm.
complete, so now they continue with stomping the person.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel complete. The person's already down and out. So if you ever watch mixed martial arts and they're wailing on the person, wham, wham, and clearly the person's not responding, the head's just bouncing. But my adrenaline and me remember what you said in the pre-show. I'm gonna get you. Get where you get, yeah, where you get,
Mm-hmm.
boom, boom, boom. So adrenaline with the message of where's your smack talking now?
Mm-hmm.
That's different. I don't want to mix sports. I don't want to mix like an adrenaline induced activity with an actual mental health anger. So I don't want to mix
Right.
those two, but that was just an example of how people can keep going because of the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Teach yourself to breathe. Woosah, breathe.
Literally.
And some people think this is yeah, I'm not gonna be breathing, man. You come at me, I'm not gonna be taking time to breathe.
There's a reason for it though.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you won't believe how many systems in your body work
Better, yeah.
that won't compete with the anger system, emotional system while you're
Y-
breathing.
Yes. And it also kind of it keeps it like, especially if you're like anxious or something like that, and your thoughts, it also, if you focus on your breathing, it does kind of calm your thinking also, which will
Mhm.
also diffuse the what's going on. I will say that one time I was volunteering with the Red Cross. Well, it was also my field work for college, but I was in Puerto Rico and I get my room and I was about to be leaving. So I go in my hotel room, and you're always staying with people you don't know. So
Mhm.
I go in and I went by myself. I'm about to go in and I see someone's stuff is already in this room. And I didn't know if I was going to be with someone or not. And
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my God, this could be a setup. Like, what if, like, there's someone in here? Like, they could still be in here. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like, I thought I was going into an empty hotel room. So I'm
Right.
like, all right, I was like, all right, Katie, you got to get out. You got to get out. You got to get out. And I was like, fiddling with the door. I'm like, Katie, breathe. Breathing was the only way I was able to actually like get the lock and get out of there, because otherwise I was like, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know if I've ever done that since, but I will say reminding myself to breathe in that moment allowed all the processes and obviously my functions to
Mhm.
chill.
You kind of get
And
systems reset,
mm-hmm.
focused.
Oh my gosh, it was so scary, but yeah, it was fun. It was actually
Yeah.
someone from the Red Cross, but that was their stuff. I just didn't know.
Right.
But anyway, yeah,
There's
breathing
ways
very
you can.
important.
So imagine this as a freeway, 4-lane freeway, and I've got a wide nose, so maybe 5 lanes. It's not a broad nose. It's not that wide. It's broad nose. Maybe 5 lanes of airflow.
Ooh.
But the anxiety and the like, so I can even be in a meeting and close one side off. And if you think about it as a 5-lane freeway and 2 or 4 lanes, sorry, my example's always been 4 lanes. If you imagine a 4-lane freeway and you close off 2 lanes, does the traffic speed up or slow down? If you close off 2 lanes of a 4-lane, it slows down.
Yeah.
Be in the business meeting, paying full attention, heated, hot, and I'm breathing. Actually, I pulled this out and then drank for real and then put it back. The reason I pulled this out, the reason I got it, because while you were talking about the breathing, straw breathing. You ever heard of straw breathing?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So this mouth is much wider than the opening of this straw. So it's almost the same thing, going from 4 lanes to 2 lanes and breathing, going from to this.
So more controlled and slow.
This is I can only get so much air in and out of that straw. Now, most people don't carry around straws with them, but my point is, if you know breathing is an exercise you want to engage in, an emergency tool is a straw. Straw breathing helps to control, because again, you can only get so much in and so much out.
Yes.
Again, this one I can use in public without, sometimes in a situation where leaving, I got angry. Yeah, now certain jobs might accept it, and some places like, yeah, you're a professional. So clever ways of closing off 4 lanes to 2 and just forcing all the air, slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. Or sitting a seated position and breathing, positioning your hands upright, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, through your nose is a lot much process, right?
And it's really good.
You can stand and do the same thing, or you can lay in the bed and do the same thing. Yoga, meditation. Meditation does wonders. A lot of people say, I'll get too distracted. I can't I'll start thinking about all kinds of stuff. I'm from the school of thought that meditation actually allows you to invite all that, and then the work is sorting. The work is sorting. So the meditation center here in Minneapolis, Minnesota Meditation Center, they teach you to sort through, like, not block it. Oh, stop thinking that way. Get that out your mind. It's a meditation that allows you to invite and then to sort and release. Invite, sort, and release.
It's like cleaning a room almost. You go through the dirty room. Because if you try to block it, that's like not feeling the anger either.
Right.
Like, yeah, continue.
So people get overwhelmed with the idea of breathing, just like going into a room to clean it. Like, oh man, where do I start? And some people, once they start, they won't stop until
I feel that.
Like, come on, no, I gotta clean. That more kind of obsessed or locked in or ruminating. So while you're breathing, you also have to monitor your ruminating. How much are you thinking about the problem? And that's what usually leads to a depressive episode. There's an event that happens. So laid off from a job, loss in the relationship, family, pet. There's an event, a triggering event. And after the event, I'm ruminating and thinking, they laid me off? Hold on, why they laid me off? Like, why did, and them some suckers, man. Why? So now I'm ruminating and thinking and thinking and thinking. And if you're an overthinker, black and white thinker,
Yep.
Exaggeration, turn the
There's like,
mountain
catastrophizing or something like that.
catastrophizing.
Distorted. Yep.
I'm just going to town with my thinking and thinking,
Yep.
and then wearing myself out, and then applying these belief systems. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Maybe I'm not good enough. And now I've actually worked myself to where I can't function.
Right.
I need sleep. I need to kind of rest my brain. And now tomorrow, like, all right, snap out of it. But I'm still ruminating and continuing the process of keeping my ability to function down. So now I'm actually in a depressed episode. And now I'm angry because the things that I'm missing out on. And why did these people, what did I ever do? So now I'm going through an episode of a bout of BAUT of depression, and I'm going through an either retaliatory type anger. I'm sons of the silent anger, keeping it to yourself and keeping it bottled up. But now this activating event, I'm going to end up snapping out. So
the behavior.
More ideas, and then we can wrap it up. I appreciate everyone who's here. Thank you for listening. Again, we're open to debate about the methods or the data and all that, but not for this show. Bring that back because I don't want to get distracted, even though my starting story was
hey, that was good though, Frager.
Yeah, the overwhelmed anger. So something to think about that builds up over time, right? So we know it builds up over time, but then what are you doing to take care of yourself in the between time? What are you doing to take care of yourself between time? Do you have support systems in place? Do you have support friends? And support friends are not the ones you don't have to be vulnerable with. You want to be vulnerable with the right people. And then do you have professionals in place? Do you have a coach? Do you have a therapist? Do you have a counselor? Do you have a
pastor, I guess?
Pastor, a sounding board, a sound person who listens to you. Right. And I know sometimes people want to listen and then they want to fix and solve, but you tell them, I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen. Do you journal? Do you play music? Do you write? Do you do poetry? Do you garden? Do you take walks? Physical activity works the brain. It helps the brain operate positively. Even going to a gun range, but that type of adrenaline is a healthy gun range, like you actually engage in the activity, whereas intentional and practice. Sports, golf. Be careful when you're going into the sports with the anger and you're going to take someone out because of the anger. I'm talking about being physical, the physical movement more than the sport itself, the physical movement.
Yes.
Engage in these supportive type things. Do you go to support meetings where people who are like-minded, they share and just hearing sometimes people's stories. True, I'm not the only one in the world. Sometimes haven't listened to speakers. Like, wow, okay, got it. So anyway, those are just things to think about. Like, what do you do in the between times if you're holding on to anger? What are you doing in the between times? Let me go back to the relationship one. So like I said, people in a relationship who engage in the kind of retaliatory anger, behavior anger, meaning they act up. When you piss me off, I'm going to act up. Destructive anger, feeling entitled, feeling like something is owed to you, feeling believing that someone did you wrong because you didn't receive. So you went and got coffee and you didn't think enough to think about me. Was that truly the case? Yes, I asked them, did you think about me? And they said, no. How much more evidence do I need? And that part is true. But why did you believe? Was there an agreement? So it's no longer about a belief. It is an actual agreement. We agreed. Oh, so it's not a belief. It is a violation of the agreement. So be able to call those names, identify it. Identify what the true issue is. And when you're addressing this bout of anger, it's about that situation and how it elevated an emotion. That situation that elevated an emotion. And then use your kind of plan B. How do you get out of that? Some people can actually engage in an argument, a healthy debate, exhibit anger, and then calm down together, come out of it together, agree to disagree. Communication. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a flash was up there from Lost in Translation, talked about communication. Absolutely. The problem about communication, Coach, is my expectation that you heard me the way I want to be heard. So the conflict or problem with communication is with I'm communicating with the belief that you should communicate the same way that I do. Because if you don't, then I think we're not communicating.
Right.
And that's not always the case. I say use I statements when communicating. Coach, I feel hurt when you are smiling and giggling with the guys in the chat, and I think they're just trying to abuse you and take advantage of you and da 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 da. So am I dismissing your abilities? Like, I'm thinking you're not able to, but you're like, please, I know, man, please, that's so and so. He's such a clown and da da da. I know these people, but I'm personalizing it. Then here I go with my thought process. But wait a second, pause. Pause. Why did I personalize it? Well, you know how many times I've said to you, these dudes don't care about you.
Right.
But you know how many times you said in return, I really don't care about them. Like,
Facts.
Right? It's not that serious. Like,
it really isn't. Right.
Dude, when I click off or leave the studio, bye, peace, huh? Yeah, woo.
Right.
Hey, hubby. Right? My world is, what do you?
Right.
No, but they, and how many times have I told you that stuff doesn't bother me?
Right.
So, but I'm picturing that I communicated something to you. You either didn't listen, you didn't hear, you didn't accept, you didn't follow. So the communication was there, but really, did I listen? Was I closed off? Oh, Doc, them folks say, please. There's an inside joke between me and so and so. We always talk like that. What they should relax, pause.
Right.
So
literally,
expectations within the communication can actually appear that the communication is not working when it is. And I have to be able to listen as much as I'm able to speak about or speak to. Yep. Coach, let's I know there were a couple of questions, but Beautiful Animated talked about bag breathing. Absolutely. I always joke about Scooby-Doo when they used to scream in the bag and run up the hill. But
yeah.
Yes, that works. Any of these, Coach, that you would like extra explanation on? Or anyone in the chat? If we go about 3 more minutes. No, CBN is here volunteering his time, and so about 3 more minutes. Any other?
I think there were some questions, but I think like if we want to touch on them next time, but I don't think there were any that were specific to. I will say one question. It wasn't really a question, but Grooming Review says that at the moment you don't even think about that stuff, which is right. But as you mentioned earlier, with the safeguards and really knowing your triggers, and with a client, we talk about this. We're kind of catching these situations after the fact until we can start building awareness. So when you're playing sports, you watch film to see what you did. Okay, well, let's look back, and then we can kind of go back to that place and figure out, all right, what was going on there? Let's go through it. You were feeling angry, and I think another big thing too, we could always talk about this next time. I think this is such a great topic. But where do you feel this anger? So then you can start identifying it too. And you mentioned feeling hot. Some people feel tight in the chest or whatever. It's going to be different for people. So identifying, what that feels like in your body, and that means being more present. We can talk about that. Because we're all so like quick, we don't even know what it feels like. But then recognizing what we were thinking, But again, you have to build awareness, and that's going to be after the fact. So then you can catch it in the moment, or you can catch it beforehand. So then at the moment, you can think about that stuff. So
absolutely,
for example,
is a learning curve. I'll end with this, and then Coach, if you want to close it out, my closing thought is this: please look into the root cause of the feeling or the thought, the root cause. Bubs, shout out to Bubs the God, Bubs the God. We talked a couple of times about why are people so angry at us? Like, what do we do to them? And then vice versa is like, well, you're impacting, you're changing, you're doing. Is that person doing it? Is that person doing it? Is that boss intentionally trying to get you fired? Yes. Let's roll with that. The first time it happened, no, every boss I have, they always try, oh, pause. Every boss. So this is a repeated behavior. Yes. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So it's a repeated behavior. Start to pinpoint, like play Planko, clink, 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 clink.
Yep.
Oh, my attitude gets in the way. My sense of self-righteousness gets in the way. My belief system gets in the way. My being a victim gets in the way. My sensitivities get in the way. Me being a HSP, hypersensitive person gets in the way. Me being angry all the time gets in the way. Me being an introvert and not being able to do, actually a hypersensitive person, but also an introvert, not being able to deal with overwhelmed. I'm easily overwhelmed gets in the way. Me being inconvenienced. How many times do I have to tell people? How many times do I have to do it? I don't want another relationship because then I got to teach someone all over again. Why can't this stupid car and these tires, I got these may pop tires, may pop at any time. When I'm mad at the stupid tires and stupid, I'm inconvenienced. Start digging at the root problem because that's what's sparking the emotion. It's not the emotion sparking the problem. This type of anger can lead to a problem if not managed correctly, is what you do with anger. If you have explosive disorder, you go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. Explosive disorder, have a brain scan. Learn what type of brain trauma you've had that impacts your ability to see clearly when you're in a rage. What happened? Why do you go to rage so instantly? Now, even though it feels protective, I'll wipe out a whole. Yes, you just may do that. But is that the practice that you want to? Yeah, it's survival. Cool. You stay in survival mode. I invite, if you ever want to stop living in survival mode, you investigate how you got into survival mode to see if you can resolve some of that. If you can resolve some of that, it will reduce the amount of time. Let me be fair. I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, and I don't want to be disingenuous. Coach K, another reality, and probably the scariest part. If we're talking about reducing someone's protection, talking about taking off armor, that is scary as hell because now I'm vulnerable. So if anger is my shield and my weapon, and you're saying, calm down, just relax, stop, don't worry, you're asking me to unarmor, and that may feel unnatural.
Right.
Is unnatural. I can't and I won't do it. And I want to be fair to say, totally get it. That is a realistic feeling, a realistic fear and sensitivity and vulnerability that people are not interested in doing. If you engage in these types of anger and it costs you, it's costing you, You're unable to function. It's costing you relationships. It's costing you money. It's costing you. Then learn to replace that type of armor from the steel knight, like the steel cage, to maybe wearing Kevlar.
Right.
So you're still protected, but it's a different, more softer, movable type protection. And this a material kind of reference material.
Right. Right.
But what keeps you safe? Definitely, definitely, definitely. Don't give up your armor if you're going to feel unsafe. But if your level of rage or anger or whatever it is to keep you safe hurt situations innocently, is going above and beyond the threat and above and beyond your own safety. Oh, sometimes I get in a situation, I don't know. Oh, I just wake up sometimes. Oh, but look into that, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation that you end up hurting yourself or others innocently because you chose not to control your anger. No one asked to have this level of anger, type of rage, neurology, the way the brain is wiring and sensory is going off the neurons. No one asked for that. You didn't ask for that. To that, I say, is not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your fault. It is your responsibility, not your fault, but your responsibility. All right, Coach, what are your thoughts? Wrap it up for us.
That's good. I want to end with what you just said by adding one thing to it, because that was so perfect. Oftentimes people will say, well, the kids shouldn't have walked, by in my yard or whatever. The thing is, though, is hopefully this, encourages people. People don't have to change or be perfect so that you don't feel this anger anymore. And that is a good thing, because reality check, people are not good at making us happy or not making us not mad. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Mhm.
this is good news and so much great information to build your awareness about what you can actually change.
Mhm.
Because on the other side of it, it'll be difficult at first, but on the other side are better outcomes, more useful outcomes, and better relationships and things like that. This is good that people don't rely on people to be perfect so that you won't feel anger.
That perfect, right, right.
So I'll just end with
Yep,
that.
perfection. Yes, that gets in the way too. Woo. Coach, before I go, we were talking about kids and anger and protection. There is
Yeah.
a current cause that I've been pushing, advocating behind the sets. It
Yeah.
is a lot of the media. And I don't know if you noticed or saw a few weeks ago, there was a kid rapping. I think he's 8, 9 years old. He could barely read a book, but he was able to spit all these wonderful lyrics. But the lyrics were things that clearly, how did he experience those things at 8 or 9 years old?
Ooh.
So the
Okay.
idea is, those are someone else's lyrics. That's someone else's pain. He's expressing it. And it's behind a nice beat, so it's gained some momentum. One of the challenges is, I always talk about the impact of what we receive, what we see, what we hear through our senses, what we touch, what we taste through our senses. There
Mm-hmm.
was a time there was a protection, there was a wall. Certain things wouldn't go past producers. Producers wouldn't submit certain things. It didn't sound right, didn't look right. It was out. It was crazy. It was inappropriate. It was wrong. It
Yeah, it's
didn't
destructive.
didn't
Yeah.
match the market. It didn't match our network's values and beliefs. A lot of those safeguards are gone. Like they're
The
not
line of
there.
defense almost is gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
the money is what it seems to be about, right? Or the production, the money to be first. So
Mm.
what is it to be first to report something? Maybe inaccurately, but that's reporting. But there's a difference between reporting something and learning something later versus, yes, we're going to put this in and let it play and go out, and we don't care if it impacts any age. They used to put age appropriate things, blah, blah, blah. So my push and where I'm supporting this and getting behind Mr. She Said is, here's the deal. If you have the content and that's your talent, people, when I used to beatbox, people were saying I was spitting all over the place. Like, like, you know, I hit a now, but back then that was like, his mouth, put your mouth on this. So it was all kind of crazy stuff.
Right.
So if you have the talent to where you can curse the big, the hole, and the blue, and whatever, great. I'm not knocking your talent. What I'm saying is those who are producing the talent and knowing that it's impacting the people younger. If we already had this whole debate about stop taking our kids, stop addressing our kids. We're quick to address the queer and non-gender folks and trans about our kids, but then yet we turn on this hibbity hop. And I'm not like saying it like I'm old and I love hip hop. I come from hip hop. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, but yet we engage. We talk about protect our women, but it's nothing better than to see some cheeks all over the thing. And so I'm pushing behind Mrs. She Said to say, hey, there's a petition out there. I actually signed it.
She just
actually signed it. What I'm asking, if people go there, and this is not like a plug for getting on the channel and plugging something, what I'm saying is we've supported the SEDS family have supported many of our channels and many of our content.
Yes.
I want to support for two reasons. One, as our show, and I can't speak for you, Coach K, but I'm imagining that cause is within your value system.
Absolutely.
And then two, personally, because I'm saying I believe in generation. So
100%.
I'm pushing, and maybe we can even figure out a way to talk about this one of the times and have the SEDS, or we go to the SEDS show and talk about conscious parenting, just aware parenting. A lot of what we talked about tonight, anger, being aware, that's about being conscious. So if we could talk about conscious emotions, we should be able to talk about as a whole, talk about conscious parenting.
100%.
Right? Parenting with intent. Now, if your intent is based on your belief, that we were talking about that belief system, that I can't parent these kids anymore. They don't listen to me anymore. They don't. Got it. That's another conversation.
Right.
How did they get the iPad? How did they get the device? How did they get the YouTube access? So they may not be listening to you anymore, but if 8, 9-year-old is not paying the bill and you are, and you're providing the device, it keeps them quiet. They sit in the back seat and we travel, and I don't hear them peep out. And they put the headset on and they're quiet. All right. Yay for quiet. However, are you aware of what they're consuming? Because the next time they call you BITCH, you're like, who you think you're talking to? Remember, they were quiet and you gave them the headset.
Right.
So I'm pushing and I'm asking people who give a damn at all. Now, I usually shrink it down to a certain audience. Maybe a single parent who doesn't feel supported. Then guess what? We can support you on the other end by saying to the networks and to the. I love to be able to write to Apple and say, Apple, you have all these controls about media content and theft and viruses and all. You have all these things in place. Like, you're known for having this type of device. Are you partnering with YouTube? Are you partnering with any of these that are allowing? Are you doing any type of partnership? Because your devices, it's like a person going to McDonald's saying, I had a medical condition because of your Big Mac. Well, no one told you to eat the Big Mac. So Apple and all these places are saying, no one told you you had to buy the device. We get it. No one made that person buy the Big Mac. I totally get it. But until we get to that health consciousness, can you please help? Will you please put the calorie content? Would you please put the carb content? Would you please put the sugar? Until we get to that health consciousness, until we feel we have more control with our kids again, would you please make the ability to see this type of content, would you make it a little bit more difficult? help us, please, because
Right.
we might be a booming company now, but it's our future. Our future. I'll land there. I just wanted to put that plug
That
in.
is so good.
Conscious
Yeah.
parenting. Check out the DeSeds. Check out this. The actual company is called Change. It's going to ask you for a few dollars. Do something strange for some change. It's going to ask you for a few dollars. They're not asking for money. The DeSeds is not. Do not pay Change organization for money. The money is to promote blah 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 blah, and they'll give you some more ads and all that. No, it's just the signature to say we want those agencies, those companies, the text, all that, even the producers. We want there to be more controls on what the kids are watching. Not controlling the kid, just making it a little bit more difficult while we work out our family system.
100%. Oh, that's good. This is good. This is something we definitely have to talk more about. But yes, I'll be sharing this too, especially. It's so
Awesome.
important. So important. But yes.
All right. Shout out to CBN, BMU.
Yes, thank
and all
you.
the
Thank
other letters
you.
out there, folks. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes.
Much appreciate you. Glad we had the space to share this with you. Hope it helped to, if you want some more information, please hit the reply button. Excuse me. When you watch the replay, please, if you have questions, put it on the wall. If you have not hit the like button already, please do. If you are new here or anywhere on the network and you've listened to one of the shows and you've not subscribed yet, please do hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
Go together.
I'll wait for it. Wait for it. She's cute.
Coach T, it was an honor. I'll see you next week.
Likewise, thank you so much. See you guys.
Right.
Good night.
Peace.
Bye.